Hi guys, in this lesson I just want to talk a bit about theory. This course is not about theory or harmony, don't worry. I will just teach you how to play scale and arpeggio over the fretboard. But you will hear about some scale, some degrees, something that you may don't know. So I just want to make this video to talk a bit about what you're gonna see. If you know very well theory, skip this video. I can't talk an hour about this stuff. I mean, if you want to explain very well model scale, different minor scale, intervals kind of stuff, I need to record a very long video. I don't want that this course will be about theory. So I try to make this video as shorter as I can. If you have other questions, you can write me, or you have to write me on email, social media, here, doesn't matter. I will be very happy to explain what you don't know, what you didn't understand, or answer every question. There's no problem, you can write me. So, when I explain scale, you will hear something like root, minor second, major third, fourth, fifth, etc. So these are intervals. Intervals are just the distance between a note and another note. For example, C to D, we have an interval that is a major second. F to G is another interval, etc. You can have tone and half tone or semitone as you want. And half tone is just one fret, so C to C sharp, half tone. C sharp to D, half tone, etc. So every note have a sharp, like C, C sharp, D, D sharp after it, except E and B, because you E and then F, there's no E sharp, and you have B and C, note B sharp. And before you have a flat note, like you have D and before you have a D flat, or you have a B and before you have a B flat. And obviously this not work for C because you have B and C, so no B sharp and no C flat, or no E sharp and no F flat. Alright, so you have C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, and B. And then you have C again. D sharp is the same things of E flat. It's the same note. You can call it as you want, but the same note, the same thing. Or C sharp and D flat. Alright? Same note. So we have the root is the first note of the scale. Then we have a minor second if you only have an half tone. So for example, C to C sharp, we have a minor second, like in the Phrygian mode or the Locrian mode. We have a major second if we have a tone. We have a minor third if we have 3 semitone. And we have a major third if we have 2 tone, etc. Right? So you have minor second, major second, minor third, major third, and then you have the perfect third. There's no major third or minor third. When you talk about fourth and fifth, you have perfect fifth or perfect fourth, and if then you have diminished fifth, it's in the middle. You know, you have the perfect fourth here, the diminished fifth, or the augmented fourth, same note. It's just 3 tone distance. This is the name. You can call it augmented fourth or diminished fifth, doesn't matter. Then you go to the fifth, then you have minor 6, or then you have major 6, minor 7, and major 7, and then the root again. So this is very quick. I probably need to talk more about this stuff, like why perfect fifth and diminished fifth, but really it's not about theory this course. Just remember that, alright? So just depend from the distance. Then I talk a lot about the major scale. That is the most important scale in music. You have 7 notes, you have the root, major second, because it's a tone distance, major third, two-tone distance, perfect 4, perfect 5th, major 6, and major 7. The most important note is the third. If you have a major third, the scale or the chord it's major. If you have a minor third, the scale or the chord it's minor. So this is, and we can talk about arpeggio. Arpeggio are 3 or 4 notes. It depends from which version you have. In this course I explain about 7-note arpeggio. So you will have the root, the third, the 5th, and the 7th of the scale. So for example, if you have a C major arpeggio, C major 7 arpeggio, you have the C as the root, then you have the E note, that is the major third, then you have the 5th, that is the G, and the major 7, that is the B. If you want a minor 7 arpeggio, you need the root, the minor third, the 5th, and the minor 7. So just minor version. You have a dominant 7th chord. The dominant 7 is an arpeggio or a chord with the root, the major third, the 5th, and the minor 7. So you have the major third and the minor 7. It's just a mix. And then you can have a half diminished arpeggio that you have the root, the minor third, the diminished 5th, and the minor 7. These are the only 4 kind of arpeggio you can have in the major scale. There are different kind of arpeggio that you can find in other scale, like modes of harmonic, minor or melodic minor, but they are not very used a lot in music, if I want to be honest. I want just to teach you what I think is useful, what you can use when you play, not something weird that you never use, you just waste time learning it. So when you play a major scale, you have 7 notes, you will find just major scale, major arpeggio, minor arpeggio, 1 dominant arpeggio, that's the 5th degree, and 1 half diminished arpeggio, that is the 7th degree. Right? So this is. Then you can find pentatonic in this course. Pentatonic are minor or major. The minor pentatonic is built taking note from the minor scale, and the major pentatonic is built taking note from the major scale. You will have on minor pentatonic, you have the root, the minor third, the 4th, the 5th, and the minor 7. And if you're asking why this note and not the 2nd and the 6th, because they are the note that sound better, you can say, for playing stuff like blues or rock. So it's the most used scale in the music, I guess, for playing rock, I mean, or blues or this kind of stuff. And for the major pentatonic, you just have the root, 2nd, 3rd, the major 3rd, the 5th, and the 6th. So pentatonic are like best of or a greatest hits of the major and minor scale. These are. Then you can hear me talking about 3 different minor scale that we have. We have the natural minor, the harmonic minor, and the melodic minor. The natural minor scale is the same thing as the Aeolian mode, as the Ionian mode is the major scale. I'll talk about modes later. Just remember that now. So the difference between an harmonic minor scale and a natural minor scale is the 7 note. You have a major 7 on the harmonic minor and a minor 7 on the natural minor. That's the only difference. All the other notes are the same. And melodic minor have 2 differences from the natural minor. The 7, again, you have a major 7 also in the melodic minor, but you will also have a major 6. So melodic minor have a major 6 and a major 7. Harmonic minor have the major 7, and the natural minor have minor 7 and minor 6. Alright, these are the difference. About harmonic minor scale and melodic minor scale, you can talk a lot, like you have modes of the melodic minor and modes of the harmonic minor, and you have arpeggios, you have other things you can learn. They are more advanced and you can use it if you play jazz or fusion. I will not talk about the Cage system of the modes of this scale in this course, but I will let you the PDF for the Cage system, so if for some reason you want to learn it, you can, but try to focus over what you probably play more, like the most of the major scale, the arpeggio, or the pentatonic. When you'll be very super cool with that, you can work over this more advanced stuff, but no worry. The last things you can find in this course are modes. So what are modes? Modes are 7 different scales that you can have starting from the major scale. So what we have if we play a C major scale? We have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, 7 notes, okay? We can call this scale major scale, but we can also call it Ionian. It's a different name. Same note, nothing really weird, just a different name, okay? Then we can find other modes. So how we find modes? We just take this 7 note, we can't have other note, just this 7 note, and we start not from C, but for example we start from D, right? So we have D, the root, then we have the E note, second, then we have the F, it is the third, in this case a minor third, because you have 3 halftone distance. Then you have the G as the fourth, the A as the fifth, the B, major 6, C, minor 7, and D again. So just the same 7 note from the C major scale, but you start from D and the end with D. I have a new scale, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We can call this scale Dorian. This is a Dorian mode. It's just a new scale we have with the root, the second, minor third, etc. So I just take the note of the major scale and I create a new scale starting from another point. I do it with the D, we can do it with E, F, G, every note. So for example, for the F and the note, you have F as the root, you have G, second, A, that is the major third, because we have 2 tone distance. Then you go to B, augmented fourth, because you have a tritone. Fifth, C, then you go to D, major 6, and F, E, that is the major 7. So again, same note, but I start from F and end with F. New scale, F Lydian. So these are modes, are 7 notes starting from the 7 note of the major scale. And you have C Ionian, or C major scale, D Dorian, you have E Phrygian, F Lydian, you have G mixed Lydian, you have A Aeolian, and you have B Locrian. These are just the mode. Aeolian is the natural minor scale, same thing. Same note, different starting point. And you can do it with other keys, like for example G major scale. You have the G Ionian, the A Dorian, the B Phrygian, C Lydian, etc. That's the process. And are probably one of the most important scale that you can use to play something that is more advanced and not only pentatonic or major and minor scale. The last things I want to talk about is the relation between chords and scale. Let's take for example D Dorian mode. You need to know, I have a Dorian mode I can play it over a minor chord or a major chord or a diminished chord. You just need to see that for the triads of the scale or the 7-note arpeggio. We can do the 7-note arpeggio because I do it in this chord. So what you have on the D Dorian, you have the root, you have a minor third, you have a fifth, and a minor 7. So a minor chord, basically, a D minor chord. So you can play a Dorian scale over a minor chord, right? If we have Lydian, you have the root, you have a major third, you have fifth, and a major 7 if you want the arpeggio. So you have a major chord. So we'll play Lydian over a major chord. This is the relation between chord and scale. So you have the scale, you look the root, the third, the fifth, and the 7. If they are major, minor, diminished, or what they are. And you build the chord, and okay, I have a minor chord, I can play Dorian, I can play Aeolian, etc. Okay, so you will have major scale or Ionian mode over a major 7 or a major chord. You have Dorian and Phrygian over a minor chord. You have Lydian over a major chord. You have a mixed Lydian over a dominant 7 chord because mixed Lydian you have a minor 7 and a major third. So you built a dominant 7 chord. You have an Aeolian over the A minor chord and Locrian over the half diminished chord. These are the options. You just need to look for the third and the 7, the fifth and the first. And build the chord. If you have a minor third, the chord will be minor, and if you have a major third, the chord will be major. And then you can understand what you can play over a chord. So I know this is not very complete. I mean, if you want to really talk about theory, all this stuff, you need a very long video, as I told you, but I want that this course is about fretboard visualization. As I told you, if you have questions, I'm here and I'm very happy to explain what you don't understand. Now let's focus on fretboard visualization.